Bill, my friend, here's the deal. This is my Prodonovich. Again, it's rigged a little bit differently than it was on that trip, but this is the same gun. Sarah, my loving 16-year-old daughter, is now focusing on this bit right here. These are the slide rings I talked about. This one is hooked to this piece of parachute cord that goes to the slip tip. That parachute cord is just tucked under the bands, and you might imagine that they would be pretty snug when they're pulled all the way back to here when it's cocked. The second slide ring is here. You'll notice that it sits in this slot in the muzzle, the front end of the gun. It's attached to this. It's 16th inch stainless steel 7x7 cable. This one happens to be plastic coated, so it slides through the water really slickly. This shooting line wraps around these two posts. This will be the first time that I have pulled this trigger in probably 20 years. But if I pull this trigger, not working. Not working. So 20 years wasn't enough. Oh, I know what the deal is. The load has to be on this to let the shaft out. Doesn't want to come out. But imagine if you would, the shaft comes out, these two little peg goes down, the shooting line is released, the shaft goes out through this slide ring, then that slide ring ends up being wish I could release it. Try it again. There. That slide ring ends up sliding. I have a sore finger, sorry about that. Ends up sliding to the end of the shaft like that. 44-inch shaft. So the slip tip goes through the fish. The shaft easily falls off the slip tip. The shaft falls out of the fish. And this is what the fish is fighting. This, then shaft, second slip ring, shooting line. The shooting line then goes, typically on that trip, it was going to this device. Now, I can't really show you how it works because the rubber is rotted, but if you look really closely, you'll see that this gizmo goes like this, releasing this loop. This loop was attached to the end of the shooting line, and now I've got my gun free. The fish is fighting the slip tip, the cord between the slip tip and the shaft, the shooting line, and then in the case of the trip you were on, 125 feet of 3/8 Tygon tubing with ski line run through it, and then a Pete Peterson float. I hope that's clear. My loving daughter is shaking her head. Yes, it's clear. She's smiling. It's so nice. Great to communicate with you. I can do this again if it doesn't work. Cut.